What is up and what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Nile141 back at it again. And if my voice sounds a little bit different, let me explain to you why that is. So I actually returned back to the regular studio. For those of you who do not know, I went to a small island for summer vacation. I went to the beach. And so we rented out an apartment which had a living room as well as 2 bedrooms. I couldn't really record in the living room because my brother was playing the PlayStation there. So my only option was to record in one of the bedrooms, which didn't have a table. So what I had to do was I actually had to lie on my chest and record in that position. And since I'm fat, what would happen is I would be pressing on my lungs, and so I would be running out of breath. It was very annoying and very uncomfortable. So it probably wouldn't have happened if I wasn't fat, but oh well, what can you do? Anyway, we're back in the studio, and the gameplay you're seeing is not really important. It's a set of free-for-alls, as you can see, quite a few of them, because it is a 30-minute video. I thought that there was some drone that was challenging me, and it was potentially going to be another Frauds Exposed. But then I realized that that's just not really the case. It was a nobody. I pretty much bodied everybody 4 times in a row. It's no big deal. And that's just sort of in the background so that there's something for you to watch while I'm talking. And now I want to get into the bread and butter of the video itself, which is the Black Ops 4 beta. What is the game going to be like, essentially? So I didn't get access to the beta because obviously would have seen gameplay of the game if I had. Instead, I'm basing this off of over 30 hours of video footage. I've went over multiple YouTubers, multiple different sources to see as much content as possible. Obviously, there are things that I can't discuss because I haven't played it, like how the movement feels. Nothing I can do about that. I can't discuss that since you really gotta play to feel that. But I can still talk about the stuff that I did see, what I like, dislike, and of course what I'm worried about. So, before we dive into the positives, let me just talk about my history with the Black Ops series and why I specifically am sort of skeptical about Black Ops 4. I feel that every Black Ops game always has a bunch of positives, has a bunch of great things about it, and a bunch of equally bad things about it. And so every single Black Ops game, in my opinion, has always been close to being an amazing game, but not really that close. And a perfect example would be Black Ops 2, right? Black Ops 2 had a great selection of guns, great gun balance. It had decent maps, right? But then it also had a lot of trash maps. It had disgustingly overpowered quickscopers. It had horrible connections. It had weird spawns and things of that nature. So again, you're not quite there. And so that's my fear with Black Ops 4. Is it going to be another Treyarch game that could have been amazing but actually unfortunately was held back? Is that gonna be the case again? We don't know, but I unfortunately have that feeling based off of what I've seen. So let's start with the positives. What did I see that I liked? Well, first of all, the guns, right? In Black Ops 3, one of my biggest issues was the fact that I did not like any of the automatic assault rifles. There were 4 of them. There was the KN-44, the HVK-30, the Man-O-War, and then there was the ICR-9. I liked none of these guns. I thought that none of them could compete with the semi-auto and especially the burst weapons. They weren't fun to use. They were annoying. They had annoying recoil, and that just sort of didn't really sit well with me. With Black Ops 4, I'm instantly seeing a bunch of automatic assault rifles that I like. I feel that this game is going to have more variety when it comes down to weapons, and is going to be closer to Black Ops 2 in that regard. I truly believe that in Black Ops 2, practically every single gun was usable, and I think that's going to be the case in Black Ops 4. That's what I like, of course. Next on the list, we have crutch perks, or rather, the absence of crutch perks. There's no perks that reduce flinch. There's no perks that effectively will give you some sort of a ridiculous advantage that you should not be having, right? Okay, there is a perk to give you reduced sprint out time, and that's something that you might consider, of course. There's a piece of equipment that gives you 6th sense, but there's no stuff like, reduced flinch, or like ghost that works all the time, stuff like that, There's no perk that everybody has to run in order for you to be competitive whatsoever, and that's great. Also, on that note, it's just great to have fast sprint out times again, because World War II drives me crazy. It still drives me crazy to this day. Sprint out times have been reduced since the beta, but they're still slow. They're still annoying. I hate to say it, but that's just how it is for me. I just wish that they were like an Infinite Warfare, where you could rush all the time and you didn't have to worry about sprint out times whatsoever. But unfortunately, that's not the case in World War II, and I think it might be the case in Black Ops 4. Another positive is fast health regen. So even though there is a manual animation, it's not just health regeneration, it's still way faster than it used to be. You can basically just get out of a gunfight, instantly tap the needle, and you will actually have your health regenerated way faster than you normally would in another Call of Duty game, right? In COD World War II, something that happens often, I'll get out of a gunfight, and just as my health starts regenerating, somebody rushes in and kills me before it can actually regenerate. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case in COD Black Ops 4. If somebody is just in a gunfight with me and I'm done with that gunfight, I can heal myself instantly and be ready for the next person. Very cool. HP regeneration is increased even further when you use the stim shot piece of equipment, so that's probably what I'm going to be running with all the time. Now, final positive note is that some of the specialists I think are really cool. Firebreak, for example, seems to have gotten a direct upgrade with his radiation ability, as well as his flamethrower that now looks very, very mean. His flamethrower was a piece of shit in Black Ops 3. The only thing you could do with it was get one trade kill. That was it. And if you're playing against people with no thumbs, then yeah, you could go on a streak, but I don't count that. With this Firebreak here, on the other hand, it seems like his range has been reduced a little bit, but the damage has definitely been increased, so I can't wait to try him out. Same thing probably goes with the Prophet, because man, even though his Tempest no longer kills people instantly, it doesn't have charge up time anymore. You tap them and they're down on the ground, and you tap them again on the ground and they're dead. So it seems like an upgrade on the Tempest, although not as obvious as is with the Firebreak. It's still changed though, that's very important to note. And then finally we have Torque, and Torque is this specialist who can deploy barbed wire and the little shield with a microwave behind it. I mean, that's going to be very annoying, but it's also going to be very, very hilarious when I'm just camping in some area of the map and everything is absolutely 100% secured. We're going to see how that turns out. Now, those were the positives. Let's go into the negatives. First of all, the obvious, the one that I have to mention before I mention anything else. TTK, what else? So, explain this to me, right? At what point did you look at Call of Duty and think to yourself that the one fucking thing that Call of Duty needs to change is the time to kill, right? Out of all the pretty much countless issues that Call of Duty has had for a long period of time, the one that you look at is TTK. People hated Infinite Warfare. No one ever mentioned TTK. People hated Ghosts. Okay, they mentioned TTK and Ghosts because it was too low, right? That was an exception. Sorry for mentioning it, right? People hated Modern Warfare 3. No problem with TTK. People hated World War II on launch. No problem with TTK. Every Call of Duty that has been hated, it was never about the TTK. Nobody really said, hey man, the TTK here is way too fast or too slow, right? Ever since, I'm gonna say, Modern Warfare 2, when we got rid of stopping power, every Call of Duty game past that, except for Ghosts, had okay time to kill. No fucking reason whatsoever to change that. And that's gonna have drastic consequences, I believe, because it makes it way harder to go on streaks. It makes it way harder to maintain a streak. Every gunfight is longer, and so there's much more of a chance of a derp factor coming into the equation, right? Like, one of the the main ways that you can sort of try and do something against the quickscoper is that if he misses you, he's dead. Well, with this increased TTK, since snipers are still one-shot kills, now he has maybe 2 chances to shoot at you, right? What about shotguns? You know, you can still put an attachment on the pump action shotgun and make it a one-hit kill. So what's going to happen then? I'm shooting the guy 3-4 bullets and boom, I just get blasted by a shotgun. Very annoying stuff, and all of it sort of increases the randomness and chaos of the game, and I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. I wish that they could just do something to increase the TTKs, or rather reduce them, like what Ace suggested, which is to just build rapid fire into every single gun, on top of also having rapid fire available, and that would just reduce the TTKs very significantly. But of course, it's probably not going to happen, and it's something that either I'm going to get used to or I'm going to quit the game because of it. I can already tell you right now, the new TTK is either going to be something I'm going to get used to, or I'm just straight up not going to play the game because of it, right? Okay, next, manual health regen. So again, even though I said that it's good that health regenerates more quickly, why is it now a manual animation? Why isn't it the same as it was in every single fucking Call of Duty before? No reason whatsoever, right? Nobody came out here and said, hey man, you know what the thing that Call of Duty really needs? Manual health regeneration. Yes, that's exactly what it needs. A feature it hasn't had since Call of Duty fucking 1. Okay? Every single first-person shooter on the market today, probably, like, that actually has replenishable health. I don't consider, you know, games like CSGO, where you literally can't regenerate your health, to be part of this. Games like Battlefield, games like, for example, Rising Storm 2. So all of these games actually have health regeneration. It is a feature that has been copied from Call of Duty. Nobody really thinks that they should move away from it, other than maybe to imitate PUBG's sort of bandage style healing, which of course, copying PUBG is definitely the name of the game this year. But anyway, that's just something that was absolutely unnecessary, and I have no fucking idea why they put it in. I would just wish that they sort of hadn't, and that we could just, you know, not have to worry about this annoying ass animation getting in the way of us trying to play the game. The next thing that we will of course be addressing will be the score streaks, because man, I sort of feel that they are ass. Based off of what I've seen in the beta, I was most definitely not impressed with what they showed us. You have 3 score streaks in particular that I was definitely annoyed by, and I thought that they were absolute ass. First of all, the strike team. What is the strike team? Think about if you had paratroopers, but you only got 2 of them, and they were ass, right? That's the strike team. It's just ass. Like, nobody likes it. It's trash. It doesn't even compete with the dogs we had in Black Ops 1 and World at War. And I don't know why the fuck Treyarch just simply can't go back to the dogs. Raps were cool in Black Ops 3, but they weren't as good as dogs. So, just please fucking go back to the dogs. Nobody will mind. Then we have the Mantis, I believe that's what it's called, and that's the AGR/Cerberus that we've seen in previous Call of Duty games. And here, it's just slow as fuck. Again, it's ass. It's slow. And there's no reason to, like, really use it if it's gonna be that fucking slow. It can barely move around the map. It's just annoying as fuck to get killed by once in a while. But it won't get you a big streak, and they need to change it. And then finally, the Hellstorm missile. The Hellstorm missile has been bad since, I don't fucking know, since like the Predator missile, and it's still bad. In this game, it's pitiful. It just doesn't really get kills that much. Maybe that's because the maps were closed, but it just didn't look that impressive. Now, let's talk about one of the streaks that's supposedly good. The AC-130, right? Awesome streak, fan favorite from Modern Warfare 2. What's wrong with it? Well, mainly the fact that it costs 17 fucking kills to get. That's a huge step up from the 11 kills that it was asked of it in Modern Warfare 2. And you gotta sort of think to yourself, is it a good streak at 17 kills? That's sort of one of the things about the Mothership in Black Ops 3 that's always up for debate. Was the Mothership an amazing streak that got a ton of kills? Yes, Was it incredibly expensive? It sure as hell was. And at that point, it's a question of if it's even worth it. And I personally would say probably not. So yeah, the AC-130 is way too expensive, and it just simply shouldn't be that expensive. And I don't think it is worth it at that point. Right, now let us talk about the supposed myth that Treyarch always delivers good streaks, right? Like, Treyarch games are known for having good streaks. They were the first ones to come up with a Blackbird concept. They've kept it in every single Black Ops game. They've always had some iteration of dogs, i.e., you know, a sort of AI, bunch of AI teammates or whatever, creatures, I guess, in the case of dogs, that run around the map and kill people on their own. And all of that was cool, except that a lot of these people seem to forget that Treyarch has been consistently nerfing their streaks. So, the Blackbird used to be an 8 kill streak, or 7, right? Something low like that. Then it was something like 12 or 1250 points in Black Ops 2, and I think then in Black Ops 3 it was like 13. My numbers could be a bit off, but I know that they've been increasing the price of the fucking hater slash Blackbird since it came out. Also, on top of that, the Blackbird and VSET were not able to be taken down by any sort of anti-aircraft fire because they literally didn't exist. They actually didn't have a model in the game. The hater, though, yep, you can take it down. Just pull out a black cell and take it down. Right? Very annoying and retarded, in my opinion. They've been nerfing score streaks ever since Black Ops 1. Like I said, dogs got nerfed into basically Raps and now into Strike Team, which is totally useless. The Cerberus, I don't know if that's an improvement over the AGR, I can't really tell. But it's definitely a downgrade if you look at the Mantis. The Mantis is a downgrade from the Cerberus. So, again, more evidence of it just getting downgraded all the time. And I don't know what's going to happen, man. If they just keep downgrading the streaks, eventually you'll get World War II tier streaks, right? Where they're all ass, and you may as well just put fucking Specialist in the game at that point because it's not worth going for anything else, right? And then the next negative that I have is old maps. So they're bringing back Firing Range, Raid, Jungle, and then Summit. And my question is, why? None of these maps is particularly amazing. I personally find all of them kind of annoying, and there's just no reason for them. Again, you know, I don't want to see fucking Raid for a 3rd iteration or 4th iteration, whatever it is, right? They're probably gonna have Nuketown in it as well for like the 17th time. And I just don't want to see these maps anymore, man. Like, Jungle and Summit didn't even work in the game that they are from. How the fuck are they gonna work in Black Ops 4? Like, you tell me, man. I think these maps are gonna be ass, and I'm probably gonna have to back out of these 4 maps every single time that they come up. I don't see them being playable maps. I don't see them being good maps. And I'm really fucking annoyed that they're making a comeback, which again, nobody fucking asked for. Next on the list is something that I'm sure we can absolutely all agree on. So, what would you guys say is the one thing you can always count on in a Call of Duty game? Teamwork, of course. Yes, of course. Working with your teammates, just like you would in CSGO or Rainbow Six Siege, right? Of course the fuck not. I mean, who even thought of that? Like, who thought to themselves, hey man, let's force people to use team shots and to work as a team in a game that absolutely no fucking person plays as a team in. This game is notorious for having pub stompers, for having people that play alone. That's what Call of Duty is, that's what Call of Duty has always been about, and that's what it should stay as. I already see myself not ever being able to play this game by myself because of the forced teamwork. This of course makes me very annoyed, and I just wish that they didn't do that, man. Just let people play however the fuck they want. You already got a massive advantage in previous Call of Duty games when you went with a full party, so there's no fucking reason to now force it on people who don't want to do that, right? Whatever. Anyways, next on the list is gonna be the annoying as fuck specialists. Even though I talked about some fun specialists, when I said Torque, I actually didn't really mean that seriously. Torque with his barbed wires is gonna be annoying, but he's not gonna be as annoying as, for example, Seraph, because Seraph now gets a spawning beacon. So Seraph puts down her spawning beacon, you kill a few people, and all of a sudden the entire fucking team spawns in the exact same location. They rush around the corner and you're dead. Very fun, isn't it? What about Nomad and his dog? The dog that appears to teleport and can actually take like 3 magazines to die. Sounds very fun, to die to something which you cannot anticipate or defend yourself against. Also he has strip mines. Woohoo. And then there's Ruin, who I don't really have much to say about, other than he was always annoying, and he's still annoying. Now he has a grappling hook, and his Ruin smash is like twice as fast as it was before. Woohoo. And then the final negative that I have to talk about is Battle Royale mode. Nothing personally against it in the sense that I think it's absolute irredeemable trash, but why is it here? Who the fuck wants a Battle Royale mode? You know what I mean? Why would you put something in the game that is going to take resources away from the main game? And realistically, it's not something the Call of Duty community wants. Call of Duty community wants Call of Duty, not fucking PUBG. I'm going to try out the Battle Royale mode, but I just have no promises. I don't think it's going to be good, right? That's the reality. And now we're going to move into a brief worries section. So what I'm not sure if it's going to be good or bad, but I sort of think it's going to be bad based on previous experience. And we're just going to throw 3 of these into the same category, which I like to call typical Treyarch bullshit. Connections, maps, and gun balance. Treyarch games have had bad connections since Black Ops 1, and though Black Ops 2 and 3 were very much better than Black Ops 1, that's not saying much because Black Ops 1 was annoying as fuck to play, or actually it was unplayable because of the connections. They've been getting better, but they were always consistently worse than Infinity Wards and Sledgehammers. If you play Black Ops 3 right now and compare it to Infinite Warfare, the gunfights are way more gypsy because of the worst connections. Maps. Again, not that much to say. What map is great in Black Ops 3? Probably none of them. There's not a single map I actually like in Black Ops 3. Some of them are passable, but the majority of them are just straight ass, and I don't want to ever look at them again. Gun balance, or VMP balance. As Black Ops 3 has shown us, the Treyarch is capable of making a billion different guns in the game, and yet none of them matter because none of them are the VMP. This is also present in Black Ops 2 to some extent, with a lot of the submachine guns like the MSMC, for example. But there you did have some choice. Black Ops 1, absolute joke. FAMAS all the way, no other gun could even compete. What a joke of game balance. And now finally, the final worry is the DLC model, right? What is that going to be like? What is the DLC model going to be like? We don't really know, but I can just tell you that ruined Black Ops 3 for me. That disgusting DLC model. I got like 3 guns or 4 guns in 16 days of game time. For comparison, I got practically all the guns in World War II in a third of the game time, in like 6 days or 7 days, whatever it is, right? So that's just sort of what is concerning. I think that the DLC model will actually very highly contribute to making or breaking the game. The gunfights and the TTK will make or break the game, but the DLC model will sort of be the deciding factor in how long I actually stay to play the game, right? This game's DLC model is great, and I came back to it now. I'm playing it a lot, and I'm really happy what they've done with that model. And so now that all of that is off my chest, I know I've been ranting for 24 plus minutes. I just want to say a few final words about Black Ops 4, and that is, guys, I am about 99% certain that when it launches, I will have my Elgato HD60, and I'll be able to provide you with full 1080p 60 frames per second gameplays, and I might even throw some streams here and there. I'm going to be covering this game hard. I'm going to be covering the multiplayer. I'm going to be covering the Battle Royale a little bit. I'm gonna be playing the shit out of this game, unless of course it turns out to be absolutely terrible and I can't play it like I couldn't play World War II. In any other event, I'm gonna be uploading. I don't want to make a promise of every single day because I often break that promise, but if the game is decent, if I enjoy it, I'm gonna be uploading often. And you know what? If the game's a total piece of shit and I don't enjoy it whatsoever, I'm still gonna find something to play to upload consistently so that you guys are not left without content. Guys, if you enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. This is your boy Nidal141, and I will see you on that next video.